Okay. Good night. My name is Velasquez, and today we're talking about John Wilkes Booth. Um, he was born in May 10, 1838, in Bel Air, and he died on April 26, 1865, due to a gunshot wound. His occupation was a theater actor and murderer. Um, uh, his he was a murderer because he killed Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president. On April 1865, Wilkes Booth assassinated President Abraham Lincoln while he was watching uh, a uh, act in Ford Theater in Washington D.C. Um, anyways, um, he he killed Abraham Lincoln because he thought the American Civil War wasn't over yet, due to some Confederate armies who were still battling the Union Army, since during that period of time, messaging it was hard to reach. It was took a long time in order to send messages to each other. He was born in Bel Air, Maryland. At age 17, he met his acting debut in the 1850s. He joined the Know Nothing Party during the Civil War. Um, he was a Confederate secret agent in March of 1865. His attempt to kidnap President failed on April, but on April 14, 65, he assassinated Lincoln at Ford Theater. Booth was killed on April 26, 1865, in Port Royal, Virginia. His early life. On May 1838, he was born near Bel Air, Maryland. Booth was the second youngest of 10 children. His father, Junius Brutus Booth, was a well-known actor and was eccentric with a reputation of heavy drinking. John and his siblings were raised on a farm which was worked by the family's slaves. As a youngster, Booth attended the Milton Boarding School for Boys and later St. Timothy's Hall sporadically from a very young age. He was described as disarmingly handsome to those who knew him. It seemed only natural that he would follow in his father's footsteps by gracing the stage with his charismatic presence. And when he turned 17, Booth made his acting debut in Baltimore with a role in the production of Shakespeare's Richard III. His early performances were such a hit that Booth was invited to tour all over the country with a Shakespeare acting company based in Richmond, Virginia. In 1862, Booth made a New York debut that made us the lead in Richard II. The New York Herald described him as a veritable sensation. When describing his natural inclination for the role, Booth tentatively expressed his credo with the declaration, "I am determined to be a villain." When on tour, he achieved his natural pace as up and comer, but respiratory illness in 1863 meant Booth had no choice but to take temporary leave from the stage. Just days prior to delivering his famed Gettysburg Address the same year, President Abraham Lincoln watched the performance by Booth in the play called The Marble Heart at Ford Theaters. In the 1850s, Booth joined the Know Nothing Party, which aimed to limit immigration to the United States. In 1859, he showed his support for slavery by joining a Virginia militia that aided in the capture and execution of John Brown following his raid on Harper's Ferry. During the Civil War, Booth served as a secret agent for the Confederacy. Faced with idle time during his break from the theater, Booth became involved in a conspiracy to kidnap President Lincoln, which totally failed. So they realized just killing the plan was bringing Lincoln to Richmond and demanded either peace or the release of Confederate soldiers as a ransom. Booth enlisted 6 Southerners, but for their March 1865 attempt in Washington D.C. failed when the president failed to appear where they had anticipated. Frustrating at seeing his plot foiled, Booth resolved to go to a far greater extreme. On April 14, 1865, just after 10 p.m., Booth shot and killed Lincoln while he was watching the performance of the play Our American Cousin at Fourth Theater in Washington, D.C. Directly after the shooting, Booth leaped on the stage and yelled, uh, "Sin semper tyrannis, the South is avenged." Booth next jumped off the stage, breaking his leg in the process, but managed to make it away into his getaway horse before anyone in the shocked crowd could stop him. After crossing the Potomac River with some difficulty, Booth and his co-conspirators arrived at Richard H. Garrett's farm in Port Royal, Virginia. Investigators were in hot pursuit on April 26, 1865, caught up with Booth, who had been hiding in Garrett's farm. Booth refused to surrender, which spurred his pursuers to set the barn on fire. As the blaze engulfed the barn, Booth was shot by a Union Army soldier. He intended to shoot the Union soldier intended to shoot Booth in the arm, but his bullet struck Booth's neck instead. The shot paralyzed him. Booth was being carried from the burning farm and laid 3 hours on Garrett's porch before he died. And that concludes my vlog.